All right. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Lisa Blaisdell. I live in Southern California, and I'm super excited to share with you simple solutions that truly have changed my family's health and my family's life over the past 17 years. And I'll share a little bit more about my story as we go through this. But I'm really excited to share with you guys just a really simple presentation called One Simple Change. And it truly is one simple change that we made 17 years ago that changed our family's health forever. And I know Meghan really appreciates you guys taking the time tonight to come and learn, or maybe you're watching this in the next couple days. So thank you for watching. And we're just going to talk really casually. This is super casual about our health. And you girls are young, Meghan and Casey, but I am not young anymore. So I do remember this time, and Kathy, I'm not going to speak for you. But
how dare you?
I know. Well, I'm just going to say, you know what? Age is a number, so I talk about that. But the point of this first slide, and just Kathy, for your sake, I'm just showing a slide of super easy ways to be healthy, drinking out of a hose and playing outdoors, and kids kind of falling asleep on the couch without holding a device in their hand. And the point of this slide is that health used to be simple. It wasn't the latest superfood or a new diet craze. It was fresh fruits and vegetables from grandma's garden, or in my case, my dad's garden, neighborhood games outside. We played outside until it was dark. This is true. We drank water from a hose, and at the end of the day, we were tired and we went to sleep. And I'm only 50 years old, and that truly was my childhood. And I'm sure I didn't eat perfect, but my parents would truly kick us out of the house, and we were outside all day long. And now, today, unfortunately, and I'm just fast forwarding this slide, and it looks very different. And, kids are overweight. They're growing up on fast food. Family dinners are replaced with this fast food. Neighborhood games are being replaced with video games and smartphone socializing. Sugary sodas and desserts used to be birthday party foods, and now they're everyday treats. And people turn to energy drinks because they don't have the energy to get through their day. And that is really, unfortunately, the reality of where we're at with our health. So the slide that I have that says, how are you taking care of you? I'd love to check in with people on this. And you guys feel free to share because it's just a small group of us. But I think we can all agree that our health is made up of these four things. Eating real food, so not eating foods that are in the middle of the grocery store. I always give the example, anything that tends to be in the middle that comes in a box or a bag that has a lot of ingredients on it, most of which we don't recognize. That's really not the food that we're supposed to be eating, but of course we do. Exercise, we really need to be moving most days. I always encourage people to find something that you love and just go do it. Maybe find a friend or an accountability buddy. Do it at a time of day that's going to work for you. Water. We should be striving for half of our body weight in ounces of water every single day. And that doesn't include rehydrating after you've, had caffeine or alcohol, which is dehydrating. So, most people that I talk to about their health, they are in a low state of dehydration all the time, including our kids. So I have a almost 21-year-old and a teenager, and my teenager who's still in high school, she gets incentivized points to not have to use the bathroom during her classroom time, which is inhumane to me because what they do is they specifically do not drink water throughout the day, which just gets me crazy. And then getting enough sleep and reducing stress. So our body does all kinds of things while we're sleeping. It detoxifies, it repairs, our hormones are able to balance out. And society today is very much sleep deprived. It's almost like a badge of honor. And it's like people brag, especially men, I think, that they don't have to sleep a lot, but we really do need 7 to 8 hours every single night to be healthy. So that's that slide. So the next two slides, I'm going to talk about some really startling trends in our world. And the first is that we live in a very polluted, very toxic world. And I always say this isn't like the good news of this talk, but it is the truth. And I don't think anyone is really like, no one ever argues with me on this point, because the reality is that we use more of everything. And so the byproduct of that is going to be pollution and toxins. We use more, soil, we combust more things, we have more toxins going into our oceans, into our waters, and we do live in a much more toxic world. Even people who live in remote places are still dealing with these kinds of issues. So that's the first trend. And then the second trend on this slide is that our food is no longer, guaranteed to be good for us. And even people who do their best, even people who research and do everything that they can, we have more preservatives in our food. We have more pesticides in our food. Our food is less nutritious. There's more genetically modified things. And so much of this is out of our control. And, I really try hard and I have good intentions, but I know that the things I bring home to my family are not 100% perfect. It's just the way that it is right now. So moving on to the good news. Well, we're going to get to the good news, but increased environmental toxins and the decreased quality of food, it's a process that aids our body in what's naturally occurring anyway. And this is called oxidative stress. So oxidative stress happens every single day from the minute that we're born. So the babies that we're looking at right now, these precious little girls, they are already experiencing oxidative stress because it's aging, it's growing, it's metabolizing food for fuel. There's other causes other than just metabolizing food for fuel that causes oxidative stress. Things like smoking, exercise, stress, medications, and even pregnancy is a very oxidative process because there's a lot happening within that woman's body. So this is really important to understand because oxidation causes aging and disease. So for example, wrinkles. So I have more wrinkles than Meghan and Casey. Not a lot, but I have some because I'm older. So that is because I've had more oxidative stress. So as you can see here on the screen, there's a picture of an apple, and half the apple's brown and half the apple looks like you just cut it. But the apple that's brown, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this before, you cut into an apple, you walk away, you get distracted, and then you come back an hour later and part of it's brown. It's because that apple has started to oxidize. But the thing that keeps the apple from turning brown is when you squeeze a lemon on it. And that is because the lemon has antioxidants. So this picture of this beautiful bounty of fruits and vegetables against this process of oxidative stress. These antioxidants only found in fruits and vegetables. You cannot get them in any other food source. They neutralize this harmful oxidative stress. They shield and protect us, which is absolutely amazing. This slide is from the cover of a Time magazine that was published in 2003. So as soon as I started talking, I got like something in my throat. I can mute you, Casey. Oh no, you're muted. Oh no, it's on this phone. So the Time magazine that I read in the fall of 2003 had this cover on it. It had tons of fruits and vegetables on it. And it had this quote, is that the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you that they could save your life. And 15 years into my healthy journey and sharing this message with as many people as I can because I'm so passionate about it, I wish that this cover was on the cover of Time magazine every year. And I wish it was on every magazine. At least one magazine a month, because I don't think that we can emphasize this statement more. It is so important. So we really need to eat 7 to 13 servings of fresh, raw fruits and vegetables every single day, but almost no one does. I know I don't. I know my family doesn't, and we do try really hard. But what most people don't know is that vitamin supplements that man turned to many years ago to try to bridge this gap really don't do the same as the fruits and vegetables themselves. So this slide that I'm showing talks about how phytonutrients detoxify and protect us. And it's showing the label of a multivitamin versus an apple. So the difference between vitamins and whole food is that vitamins have maybe 30 to 50 isolated nutrients in it, whereas an apple has at least 10,000 phytonutrients, plant chemicals, vitamins, minerals, and so on. Each fruit and vegetable has so many that they work together to protect our bodies. It's called synergy. There's really, truly no comparison, and vitamins can barely scratch the surface as far as their potential or effectiveness. And there is research and science telling us over and over and over to get our nutrition from whole food instead of from isolated nutrients. And actually, there's a lot of research that's been published in the last decade proving that isolated nutrients actually do more harm than good, because our bodies don't know what to do with it. It's not a natural substance coming into our body. So, did you know, this next slide, did you know that today's mass produce packs a less nutritional punch? This is also something that's changed from when I was a little girl and where my parents were young and so on and so forth. We used to only have to eat 5 a day. When I was growing up, the campaign for fruits and vegetables was eat 5 a day. Now we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And the reason why is because most varieties of produce have lost between 5% and up to 40% of their nutritional content. And that has so much to do with the fact that what we're eating is put on trucks, spends a lot of time there. They're picked way before they're vine ripened. And oftentimes they're put in storage for years before they're even put on the shelf of our grocery store. And it's happening everywhere. Just because I'm in California, it doesn't guarantee that I'm eating fresh produce all the time. It absolutely doesn't. And I eat apples that I know have been stored in storage for years. You know, you can buy strawberries here throughout the year, not just when they're in season. And I always wonder, like, why am I buying a strawberry in September? I shouldn't be. Our season for strawberries is actually now. And so the strawberries are really, really good right now. But by September, October, November, they're gone. And I still can buy them in the grocery store. And I always wonder about that. And also the serving. So a lot of times I get asked about the serving size. It's the size of your fist. So that's how many we're supposed to eat. And actually, a serious athlete may need to eat as many as 16 to 18 servings a day, which is a lot and very difficult to do. And that is why I am so grateful that the one simple change that my family made 17 years ago was to get more fruits and vegetables into our diet through a product called Juice Plus. So Juice Plus is a way to add 30 raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables to your diet. It is non-GMO and is NSF certified to be pure. And I'll talk about that in the next slide. I love to call it a salad bar in a capsule because you get all of these different variety of fruits, veggies, berries every single day into your diet. So the way that it's made is that they are completely vine ripened. We have control over when they're picked. They remain attached until the nutrition is totally developed. And then, you know, so we know that it's really getting the peak amount of nutrition. They're then dehydrated, so crushed and dehydrated, and then you're just left with the nutritional powders. They're put into a super simple capsule that we can swallow, or we even have chewables for kids or big kids who don't want to swallow capsules. So what's also really cool about Juice Plus is that every single piece of fruit or veggie, we include the seeds, the peel, and the leaves. So like the broccoli, you're getting the leaves of the broccoli, which has so much nutrition in it. The peel, you're getting the peel of the orange and the apple and the lemon and the pomegranate. I mean, there's so much dense nutrition in the peels. So it is not a substitute for the real thing, but it absolutely helps us to bridge the gap. And I am so grateful that my family found this 17 years ago. So this is my family. We are all grown up now, but when my oldest was 3 And when my youngest was a baby, she was literally only 6 weeks old, I was introduced to Juice Plus from some other mom friends. And I'm so grateful that these moms cared enough to share with me, because we were really suffering as a family. My immune system was very weak. I was getting chronic sinus infections. My oldest, Ellie, had croup chronically from the time she was a baby. And then it developed by the time she was 3.5, she had pneumonia twice. And I knew that she was headed for, you know, really a kind of a chronic bronchial lung kind of a situation. We went on Juice Plus. It made total sense to me. There's no way I was feeding my family all these fruits and vegetables every single day. I was a busy working mom, and I was just doing the best I could to get through the day, to tell you the honest truth. And we took Juice Plus. I had no expectation that it would do anything for me other than just, you know, give me more fruits and vegetables. But I was so pleased that, you know, in a couple of months, I noticed that I was waking up and having more energy. That really felt good, because I never had energy. I was sleeping better at night, which I thought was so interesting. My hair and my nails started growing stronger and faster. And my little 3.5-year-old that would go to the pediatrician every single month stopped having to go to the pediatrician every month. She stopped needing antibiotics every month. I stopped getting chronic sinus infections. And, you know, Sophie had started to get sick and needed a round of antibiotics when she was really little. But then, you know, she truly has been the healthiest kid growing up. And now, 17 years later, I am so grateful that we said yes to Juice Plus all those years ago. They are grown up. Sophie has missed one day of high school. Her last day is tomorrow. She finishing her 3rd year, and in 3 years of missing one day of high school, that is practically unheard of. Ellie does not have asthma or any other bronchial issues. She's totally healthy. And my husband and I are now 50 and 56, and we want to stay well and healthy. We want to be active grandparents someday, not soon, but someday. And Phil has lost both of his parents to preventative disease. His dad died of a massive heart attack when he was only 59 years old, and that is not going to be his story. And I'm so grateful that we have learned all that we can about staying well and healthy. So that is my story, and that is why I'm so grateful that you guys came to listen and learn, because I truly love to share how these solutions can change people's lives. So let's talk about the Juice Plus shakes, which I know Meghan also loves. The chocolate and the vanilla, it's totally vegan, gluten-free. It is a whole food-based product as well, with protein, fiber, amino acids, and fruits and vegetables in a shake. It is great for any meal. I use it as my breakfast. I drink one after I work out every single day, even a mid-afternoon snack. And those of you guys that are nursing mommies, it's a wonderful way to fuel, because you need a lot of good fuel right now. The Complete also comes in snack bars that we have. It's a different form. They're really, really delicious too. And this is the macronutrition that we need, you know, the carbs, the proteins, the fats, the fibers. And Juice Plus capsules are the micronutrition. So if you think of that, like, we need to put gas in our cars to run, right? We can't go far without gas, but we also need the oil in our car. We need that oil to be smooth running so that the car is always running well. And that's the same analogy I like to draw with the Juice Plus capsules and the Complete. You've got to have both. So we absolutely love the Complete in our house. We are addicted to it, actually. I actually just whipped up a batch of what I call Complete balls, which are little healthy treats that we keep in our freezer, and I mix them with nut butter and nuts and coconut and whatever I've got laying around. Super healthy treats. And I do crave it every single day, and so does my family. So when you have the Complete combined with the Juice Plus, you can see here, you're getting over 45 superfoods in your diet every single day. And I just feel so grateful that we can do that. So why is Juice Plus different and unique? So it's a whole food label. So if depending on where you live, like where I live in the state of California, it's not taxed because it's food. The government does not look at Juice Plus as a supplement. It views it as nutrition because it has a nutrition label. And so there's no warning label. Juice Plus is safe for people of all ages, pregnant and nursing mothers, children, the elderly, and even professional athletes take Juice Plus because we have that NSF label and they are safe to take it. So NSF is a private company that certifies the Juice Plus products to be sure that what is on the label is in the product, and they stringently test it for pesticides, mold, bacteria, stimulants, etc. Juice Plus is safe for people of all ages, like I said, and it's the most thoroughly researched product of its kind in the world. And this is truly my favorite part about Juice Plus. We have 38 published studies that really truly set our product apart from everything else. Well-known research institutions have studied what happens in people's bodies, not in mice or in rats, but in human beings. And these studies are then published, double-blind research. I always say you cannot buy your way to get published. And regardless of the outcome of the study, we are stuck with the results. But I am super proud that we have such a body of research that indisputably proves that Juice Plus improves cardiovascular wellness, supports a healthy immune system, reduces systemic inflammation, reduces that oxidative stress, which is what we talked about, protects our DNA, healthier skin, healthier gums, and so much more. And one of my favorite studies is actually the cardiovascular study, because heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women in our country, even above cancer. And because heart disease struck my family, I'm super, passionate about people really taking care of their hearts. And the American College of Cardiology published a study that when people eat a high-fat meal, their arteries clamp down. So like your arteries go from like this, wide open, blood flowing, to like you eat a high-fat meal and it shuts down. That's why most heart attacks in the ER, if you have friends that are nurses, will tell you that the ER is busiest over the holidays and on Super Bowl Sunday, because people are eating a lot of high-fat products. 60 days, actually 90 days, subjects taking all 3 blends, Orchard, Garden, Vineyard, virtually no constriction in those arteries, up to 6 hours after they ate the same high-fat meal. That is absolutely profound. So I'm super passionate about that when people share with me that they have a history of heart disease, or they have cholesterol, or even, things like migraines, anything circulatory. You want everything flowing in your body. And that is an amazing study. I love our Family Start Plan. We used to call it the Children's Health Study. I need to update the slide. Doesn't really matter what we call it. It is an amazing program for families that allow kids of all ages to get Juice Plus at no cost. We ask that the child be 4 years old, because we mostly just want them to comply. But I will let a kid come into the study even if they're 2 years old, as long as they'll eat the free product, and it's up to 4 years. It's just a little bit of data on the child and their eating habits, and then as they go along, because we do use this information. We have over 1 million families in our Children's Health Study program today. We have given away millions of dollars of Juice Plus. I'm so proud of our company that is so invested into our kids and their future, because if our kids aren't healthy, which we know they're not, sadly, they're our future. So I always tell people, whether you have kids or not, you really do care about the state of kids' health right now, because it's not good. So what this slide shows, and if you're not looking at the slide, I'll read it to you. 56% are taking, this is kids taking Juice Plus for a year. 56% are taking fewer and over-the-counter prescription medication. 60% are missing less days of school, which means parents are missing less work, which is awesome. 61% are eating more fruits and vegetables. 66% are going to the doctor less. I mean, talk about costs adding up. 71% are drinking more water. 71% are consuming less fast food and soft drinks. 89% of kids are more aware of their health, and 98% of the kids have a positive benefit of some kind. I absolutely love this study. And even if you're not a parent, or, your kids don't fall into this range, it actually goes all the way up through college. So, and now because I have college age kids, I'm super passionate about this age group, because I don't know about you, but my eating habits like totally died after I went away to college, and like I drank beer and ate pizza. So I didn't eat fruits and vegetables. And when kids are away at college, like the stakes are high. We parents pay a lot of money, and it's really hard when they're too sick to go to class or take an exam. So I love that we offer it free to those kids as well. So the Juice Plus Omega Blend, this is actually our newest product. It's only been out a year. And 10 years ago, the Juice Plus company sent out a survey asking what else our customers are taking in addition to Juice Plus and what they would like to see. And overwhelmingly, they asked us actually to come up with a plant-based version of an omega, because everyone knows that brain health is so important and that we need to have these essential fatty acids. So we have a brand new plant-based formula of the omegas that includes the 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. We have cut out the middleman, i.e. the fish, and have gone straight to the algae and the plants to get to the omegas. And it is the first product of its kind to use low temperature technology so that none of the delicate oils in the capsules are damaged. And I just have to say really quickly that I had no expectation when the company, I'm in a leadership position of the company, and they sent this to us and they said, take it. And I was just being a good girl. I had no expectation that anything would change. And I am amazed at some of the changes, positive ones that I experienced after starting to take the omegas. I love, love, love the omegas. So lastly, I just want to really quickly touch on a program that we have to help you shred the toxins and the bad habits that may not be serving you. So this slide might be a little confusing. Don't worry about it. But what we know to be true, and I talked about this in the beginning, is that there's a lot of toxins in our body. And what happens in our bodies is that toxins love to hang on to our fat cells. So the fat protects the toxins from really running rampant in our bodies and exposing our vital organs to these toxins. So there is a vicious cycle that I think many people get caught up on, which is they try to diet, they get rid of the fat, they exercise, they deprive themselves of calories. But then what happens is that these toxins are still there. And if the toxins are still there, the body is going to desperately want that fat back to protect the vital organs from the toxins. So a lot of people, you know, especially women my age that have been doing this for years and years and years, they get onto this yo-yo cycle and the fat desperately wants to hang on. But if you think about cleansing toxins and getting rid of toxins and really focusing on the toxins leaving your body, it is a much healthier way to ultimately shred fat if that's a goal that you have. Because when the toxins leave your body, they are taking those fat cells with them, and it is much easier to maintain a healthy weight without any rebound at all. So we have a super simple 10-day program that allows people to really shred some unhealthy habits. This is not about shredding 10 pounds in 10 days. We are not a weight loss company, but what we found, a lot of the doctors that work within the Juice Plus company found that if we ask people to get rid of some inflammatory foods and some habits that were no longer serving them, they would have a better experience. They would have less inflammation in their bodies. And yes, for some people that have some, you know, unwanted fat that they want to shred, you know, oftentimes that happens. So for 10 days, and we do these groups every single month, we focus on adding more real food to our body. So we take the Juice Plus capsules. We actually drink 2 of the complete shakes a day because you're getting that much more whole food nutrition in your body. You drink plenty of water. You sleep 7 to 8 hours every night. Haha, for new moms, we try. We exercise most days. And we eliminate, and remember, this is the 10-day part. So the above part, we hope you do all the time. The bottom part is just for 10 days. So eliminating gluten, which is 90% processed food, breads, carbs, pastas, things that are just, you know, high in sugar and cause inflammation. Dairy, which also causes inflammation. Caffeine, alcohol, processed foods, artificial and refined sugars. And then the other part of the program is trying, and this is, I know, hard. I've run a lot of shred groups, trying not to eat after 6 p.m. because we really want your body to rest and not be having a meal and then going right to bed. So the person who invited you can talk to you more about the shred. I love the shred. I run groups every month. Caffeine is like my best friend. I love my cup of coffee in the morning, but honestly, when I really am good about it, it's amazing how great I feel. And I've been taking Juice Plus for 17 years, and I was really shocked actually when I started doing these shreds and to see the difference that it made in my energy levels and so forth. And so really quickly as we wrap up, I have to mention a tower garden because it is the future of growing. We love our tower gardens. This is an aeroponic tower growing system that allows you to grow from your patio, from your backyard. There's no soil, there's no digging or weeding. There's 90%, takes up 90% less water and 90% less space. And my parents, who still live in Amherst, my dad, who's had a vegetable garden for 45 years, they love their tower because they can keep it on the patio. My mom goes out, she grows lettuce and herbs all summer long. A lot of my dedicated Juice Plus colleagues, we now have grow lights. They grow year round. And it truly pays for itself because you're growing your own produce. And there is nothing fresher than eating a piece of lettuce that you've grown. And the taste is so incredibly better that it's hard for me to eat produce that is not from my towers. I have 2 towers. I love them. And they've really changed the way that we look at food. So we have a wonderful healthy living community, and the person who invited you can send you this website, but we have awesome free resources that we love to share with people who want to be a part of our healthy living community. We have cookbooks, we have support groups, we have educational events. Everything is free because truly we're a company that loves to inspire healthy living around the world, and we're true to our mission. We really want people to be healthier in every single way, in addition to taking Juice Plus. So as I close, I just want to share and thank you guys so much for listening. And if you're watching this replay, thank you for listening. And so some of you guys might be really inspired to eat more fruits and vegetables and drink more water and make healthy changes. And that's so great. And we're so grateful that you were inspired to make some healthy changes for you. Some of you might want to make one simple change and add Juice Plus to your diet or jumpstart with our Shred 10. And truly, for less than a cup of coffee a day, which it truly is, you can add over 30 plants to your diet, which is amazing. Or maybe you've been thinking about people that you love, that you care about, that you'd love to share this education with. I know that happened for me. After I was taking Juice Plus, I absolutely loved it, and I truly wanted my family to know. I was also looking for a way to stay home with my kids and be a flexible working mom and run my business on my terms. And I'm so grateful that I said yes to that as well, because this has truly changed my family's life. And, but we're just so grateful that you came and learned. And I am going to stop the sharing and ask if any of you guys have any questions, because I'm happy to answer a few questions. I'm sorry I went a few minutes over, but we started a few minutes late, and I get so excited sharing that I just keep talking. So I'll stop talking now. So does anyone have any questions? Kathy, you still with us?
I'm here. I just put you on mute because it's like, you know, I live in a circus, so I don't want to disturb.
Of course. Of course.
So
you're fine.
I am here. I'm here. No, I don't have any questions.
Great. Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for coming. And anybody else? I can't, it says there's 5 people, but I can't tell who. I know one of them's mine. Anybody else have any questions? Well, I know Megan just so appreciates you coming to learn. I know she'd probably talk, but I think she's taking care of her baby. And if you're wondering how Megan knows some lady in Southern California, it's because my sister, Carrie, works for Megan. And when Megan, you know, when my sister first started working there, she recently moved back to New Hampshire. Megan they were chatting and my sister shared, and I'm so glad that she did, because I'm so, like, nothing gets me more excited than a Juice Plus baby, like nothing. It's like my dream come true when I like help moms have healthy Juice Plus babies, because I know the profound difference that's going to make in the baby's life. And so I wish I knew about it when I was pregnant, but I didn't, but that's okay. So I love to help these healthy moms. And I know Megan's just so happy that you guys came and that you learned. And if you have more questions, you can get back with her. But I will let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your evening. And